We are back to live action. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ash Cash Show every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com to subscribe to the podcast. Go to ashcashtv.com to see us live and direct. Today we are starting off, as normal. If this is your first time, welcome. If you came back, then welcome back. As you know, the format of the show, we start first of all with the daily word, where we give you an inspirational word of the day, and then we go to the news, and then lastly we answer any questions that you may have. If you do have any questions, please make sure that you're putting those questions in the comment box if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Periscope. If you're watching on Instagram, please put them in the comment box on the bottom. And so we are going to rock out. And today's daily word is dedicated to your attraction, right? Attracting what you want. And so I typically wake up in the morning, and I post some a quote that that resonates me in the morning. And today I wanted to be an affirmative quote, right? And the affirmative quote says, "I am a magnet for good news and great blessings. The universe always works in my favor," right? And the reason why I talk about attracting what you want is because in order for you to be a magnet, or in order for you to actually be able to manifest what you want, in order to get good news and get blessings, is really you get what you expect, right? And so if you are sort of like expecting things to not work out, if you're expecting the worst, if you're expecting things, the bomb to drop, for lack of better words, then that's exactly what's going to happen. Because life is all about perspective. Two people could take the same exact situation and really look at it differently, and it really affect them differently. And that's just because it's the lens that they have on, right? And so at the end of the day, it's important that we get to the state of life, that we're expecting good news, that we're expecting the blessings, that we're expecting that the universe is always working in our favor. Even the things that are uncomfortable, even the things that we don't like, even the things that we would not like to happen. I don't know if there's anybody who in their heart, while going through COVID-19, going through this pandemic, I don't know if there's anybody that's like literally in their heart that's like, oh my God, this is the best thing that ever happened. But I will say that there are people who are benefiting from this. You know what I'm saying? So like, not everybody has the same story. And I know that. I know that because I have conversations with both sides, right? So there's like a two sides of the coin. So I have conversations with people who are doing well, and then I have conversations with people who can be doing better, and honestly, it's again all perspective. The people who could be doing better, when I speak to them, and it's no knock on them, because this is a lot, right? This is not like normal stuff, right? This is not normal in the way where normally when we have things going on, it's isolated and there's ways to distract yourself. Like literally, with everything going on, there's literally like no way to distract yourself. So you have to face your truth, right? But the truth of the matter too is that the truth shall set you free. And so when I look at people who are having hard times dealing with this, a lot of it is because of their perspective and how they're looking at it. And again, it's not easy. But then when I look at other people who are doing well, who are actually thriving during this time, a lot of them are, it's their perspective on it. So, in order for you to be a magnet, I'll read the quote again, so that we could be on the same page, right? I am a magnet for good news and great blessings. The universe always works in my favor. In order for you to do that, you have to change your perspective. You have to look at the bright side of every single situation. There's a bright side of every single situation. You have to understand that. You have to know that the universe, the good, the bad, and the ugly is all working in your favor. It's all working for your greater good. So I wanted to leave you with that word because it's important. As a reminder too, because at the end of the day, again, it's not one of those situations where like this is the first time a lot of us in our lifetime are dealing with this. You know what I mean? So it's not one of those situations where it's like, okay, I'm dealing with, everybody's dealing with this, and like when things are unprecedented, right? When sometimes when it's your first time dealing with something, it becomes one of these, it becomes difficult, right? It becomes one of these things that, you say to yourself, man, this is really, hard to deal with, or you don't have, you don't really have precedence. You know what I'm saying? So like if you dealt with something before in the past, you get to a space where you are, how to deal with it, right? Like when you know how to deal with it, you're able to, maneuver. And so don't be so hard on yourself, but at the same time, understand that these things happen for your greater good, and you just got to stay focused on that. All right, Beyond Win, what up, my G? Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so let's start with the news, and let's go with the market news. Today, the Nasdaq is up 0.15%. S&P 500 is down 0.36%. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 0.65%. We got gold down 0.03%. The 10-year Treasury is down 2.30 bips. And then we have oil that's down 1.77%. And so, I don't know if y'all are watching, but again, the markets are doing this thing, this roller coaster ride where, on one end is doing well, on one end is not doing well. And really, that's, I'm attributing that to, and a lot of other experts are attributing it to retail investors who are jumping in the markets, right? And so we're looking at the Dow and the S&P 500. Those were doing good, in the first three sessions, but now, they started to go down. One of the things that I'll talk about the Dows as well. So the Dow futures fell 100 points, and airlines and retailers slide. And so stock futures were lower on Thursday as investigators weigh in on rising number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. around the world. And so we're seeing an increased amount of cases around the world. The futures on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, they fell 150 points to 0.6, and S&P 500 futures dipped 0.5%. Nasdaq 100 futures were down by 0.2%. Several states in the U.S. are experiencing a resurgence of infections. Arizona reported a record high number of new confirmed cases, while Texas saw 11% increase daily in the spikes of hospitalization. Let's see. The real Scotts Randall says all this Great Depression talk was a lie. I don't know, fam. Yeah, I don't know. We could talk about that. I want to get your viewpoint on that. The real Scotts Randall, because I don't know. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. But let's go to Hertz, right? Because one of the things that I've noticed too is that so Hertz was really rallying, right? So like a lot of the, so yesterday, right? Hertz suspended. They had a plan to sell up to $500 million in stocks, and they wanted to raise some money. But SEC stopped that. They kind of pulled it or whatever. And really, what's happening is this, right? So just so y'all understand, what happened was that Hertz, they filed for bankruptcy, and they filed for bankruptcy in May 22nd, and then 4 days later the stock went to point four to 40 cents, right? And so after it went to 40 cents, it was almost like chaos, right? Because at the end of the day, people started seeing, wow, the stock is at 40 cents, and so those who don't know about stocks or whatever the case may be, started to say, wow, I know Hertz, right? Hertz is a great company, and so because Hertz is a great company, let me buy up this stock, right? And so the stock, people started buying the stock, and the stock was up 1,400%, right? And so it shot up to $6 at one point on June 8th. And so what happened though is that these are amateur investors, right, who really don't understand the stock market. And so because they don't understand the stock market, they were like, yo, I know Hertz. Hertz is a good company, and so let me put my money into Hertz, right? And so 96,000, traders from Robinhood bought Hertz share over a span of a week, and that's what was driving up the price. But when you think about it, Hertz was still bankrupt, and they like plainly are telling you they don't have enough money to satisfy any debt obligations that they have. And so at the time, they had almost $19 billion in debt. And so they were like, yo, for us to turn around and to make this work is really, really unlikely. And so that's what that's what was happening. And so they would like, man, people are pumping money into our economy, so what are we gonna do? And so that's when they were like, all right, let's raise this money, let's try to raise $500 million to see if that's gonna work. But SEC is like, nah, we're not letting y'all do that, because at the end of the day, those stocks are worthless. And Hertz has said it themselves. They're saying that even if we get this money, most of the money is probably going to be used to pay off debt, right? Because I don't know if y'all heard what I said, that they owe almost $19 billion in debt, right? 19 billion with a B. And so even if they somehow raise enough money to bounce their way out of it, they still need that bankruptcy. And the fact of the matter, the people who are dumping their money into it, those retail investors, probably are not going to get their money back. And so that's just important for us to know. As you're looking at investing, as you're looking at the stock market, make sure that you are making an informed decision. Don't really just follow trends. Don't really kind of look at trends and say, oh, because I hear these blanket terms where they're like, oh, Warren Buffett says, buy low, sell high. Yes. But that doesn't mean buy everything low, right? Because when you buy, when you buy everything low, if it's gonna go lower, then it'll never go high, right? And so it's important that we focus on that. In other news, jobless claims set to top 1 million again. But what's worse is the agonizing slow decline in people getting unemployment benefits, right? And so more than 1.3 million new applications for unemployment benefits were likely filed in mid-June to push the total during the coronavirus pandemic above 48 million people who have filed from unemployment. But such shocking numbers don't really tell us much about whether the U.S. labor markets is on the mend, meaning that it's bouncing back. Economists have turned their lens to another figure in the weekly report that reflects how many unemployed workers are actually receiving benefits. These so-called continuing jobless claims have tapered off since peaking in the middle of May, and economists will look for the third decline in the past record. So another drop in continuing claims would obviously be a good sign, signaling that more people are leaving the unemployment rolls and returning to work. A nationwide lockdown ended in May as states reopened and the economy began to recover from what's likely to be the deepest, if shortest, recession in American history. All right. And so let's see if y'all got questions, because I see the questions are rolling. If you have questions, put them in the question box, because once I get to the questions, I probably won't be able to scroll back up. So please put them in the question box. That's for my folks on Instagram, my IG folks, my Facebook folks. I think y'all good. All right, so ex-Atlanta police officer who killed Rayshard Brooks has been charged with felony murder. The now fired Atlanta police officer who faces a felony murder charge for fatally shooting Rayshard Brooks last week kicked the 27-year-old man after he fell to the ground. Fulton County District Attorney said on Wednesday. DA Paul Howard announced 11 charges against Garrett Rolfe, who 5 days ago fired 3 shots at Brooks, 2 of which hit Brooks in the back and another hit a car with 3 people inside. After Rolfe shot Brooks, he exclaimed, "I got him," kicked Brooks as he struggled for his life and failed to give timely first aid. Devin Brosnan, the other officer at the shooting, faces aggravated assault charges for standing on Brooks in the parking lot. Hours after the district attorney announcement, Atlanta police officers were not responding to calls in 3 of the city's 6 zones. Multiple sources within the Atlantic Police Department told CNN's Ryan Young. The department denied the reports of officers walking off the job, saying there was a high number of call-outs on the incoming shift. So, no opinion on that. I just wanted to report that. The Aunt Jemima brand, 130 years later, has acknowledged its racist past and will be retired. Right. So Quaker Oats is retiring the more than 130-year-old Aunt Jemima brand and logo, acknowledging its origins and based on racial stereotypes. It says, as we work to make progress towards racial equality through several initiatives, we also must take a hard look at our portfolio of brands and ensure they reflect our values and meet our consumers' expectation, the Pepsi-owned company said in a statement. It's funny even saying that, though. Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima's appearance has evolved over time. The brand's origin and logo is based on the song Old Aunt Jemima from a minstrel show performer and reportedly sung by slaves. The company's website said the logo started in 1890 and was based on Nancy Green, a storyteller, cook, and missionary worker. However, the website fails to mention Green was born into slavery. The reason why I'm laughing, I'm gonna talk about this quote that I saw. So one of my mentors, Alfred Edmund Smith, from Black Enterprise, he posted this, and he said, "Us, hey, could the police treat us better, right?" And then you see these photos. If you go to his Instagram, Alfred Edmund Jr., I think it is. And if you go to Instagram, you'll see the photo that I'm talking about. But he says, so the caption says, "Hey, could police treat us better?" Then ABC, right, responds, "Oh, okay, we'll have a black bachelor." Starbucks, "Oh, black it up, baristas." Band-Aid, "We got y'all, boo-boos, fam. We gonna give y'all colored Band-Aids." The City, "Oh, let's paint this road." TV, "Oh, the cop show is canceled." And then Quaker Oats, "Bye, Aunt Jemima." And then we're looking like, okay, but the police, like, what's happening, right? Like, can we talk about these police? And I think that's important to notice, because I talked about this. I want to say, oh yeah, Uncle Ben. Yeah, no, Uncle Ben is up actually. Style Lewis. I forgot to mention that Uncle Ben is actually up as well. So they're gonna be looking at Uncle Ben as well. But no, it's funny because I think about I talk about it Monday. I talk about the shiny objects, right? Like these shiny objects that we are so used to accepting, right? Like, when you think about what we're asking for, right? We're asking for police reform. We're asking to, to not be killed anymore. And in the midst of asking that, somebody gets killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that's crazy to me. And so, and I get it though. I get it that there are criminals. Like I'm not like we do not live in a world that does not have crime. There's criminals like that. There is criminals. There's criminals. There's criminals. But um, at the same time, um, you know, the people who are not posing a threat to someone's life should not be killed. So now, we started with George Floyd, and we should stay there. To be clear, right? Don't lose focus because all of these other cases now you weaken the energy towards that first case that could serve as a precedent to the others, right? So don't lose focus. I think the focus should stay on George Floyd. I think the focus should really be on there, so that way there continues to be this reform on a federal level, on a state level, on a city level. But then people are still getting killed, right? There's still teens getting guns pointed at them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's just like painting roads, changing names. I think it's overdue, and I don't mean to be insensitive, about that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like let's deal with the first thing first, because when we joked about Michael Che saying that black people always ask for the lowest denominator, right? It's like, oh, we want civil rights, not equal rights. Just be civil. Just treat us civilly. Just turn the water hose off, right? Not equal. We don't want to. No, not equal rights. We're not fighting for equal rights. We're fighting for civil rights. Like that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I'll leave that there. In other news, Pablo Escobar's estate is reportedly gunning at 2 Chainz head for $10 million. So Two Chainz isn't in the good graces of the late Pablo Escobar's estate. TMZ reports that 2 Chainz is being sued by Escobar Inc. for a minimum of $10 million over the name Proud. Rappers, 2 Atlanta restaurants, Escobar's restaurant and Tapas. So Escobar Inc. says in their lawsuit that they own the trademark to Escobar's likeness, and 2 Chainz using it on the 2 restaurants' location, a website, social media, merchandise, and even menu items without permission. Violates federal laws. In addition to the $10 million minimum, the estate is also seeking an injunction blocking the use of the name and likeness on both locations. So Sir Cass says LOL at Pablo gunning. That's the pun intended. Pun intended. And so, as we talk about, the people who are, as we talk about, those who are changing names and things of that nature, I do, find it interesting. We talk about shiny objects, right? And I do find it interesting that there are some companies that are putting their money in, where their mouth is, right? Word, a drug dealer trademarked his name. And so, here's the deal about the shiny objects, right? And again, we're dropping the episode with my guy Sean Rochester, who is the author of Black TACS, and so he talks about shiny objects in the episode, and so when you think about shiny objects, right, you want to make sure that whatever's being done is creating more jobs in the black community. It's allowing those jobs to hire. So whether it's other people, other companies hiring more black people, or the jobs that are being created in the black community are hiring, or giving black businesses access to capital. Those 3 things I think really start to help as it relates to the economy, as it relates to the plight of what black people are going through in America. And so roads being painted, names being changed, and things of that nature are good starts. Because of the racial bias and the undertone that comes with it, I get that. But then also, let's make sure that money is being put up so that jobs in the black community could be created, so that black businesses could thrive, and that there's access to capital, right? And so I saw that Google recently pledged more than $175 million to black businesses, and said it would diversify its leadership to include more black representation, which is something that I'm for. When you think about Target, is also aiming to raise its minimum wage to $15, which is something that I'm for, because again, like I mentioned before, there are a lot of Targets that I know that hire black people, and people from the community, people from the neighborhood. So I think that's a win as well. You got the Netflix CEO. You got Reed Hastings and his wife, Patty Quillen. They're donating $120 million to scholarships at historically black colleges and universities. And so, I definitely, think that, these things are what's going to move the needle. And so if help or if things are necessary, let's put your money where your mouth is, and support jobs, support black businesses, and support access to capital. So I love that. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to open it up for any questions that you guys may have. How does one get access to the monies that all these companies say they are offering to us? Dow Lewis asked. Definitely when you look at Alpha Alpha Trader Kaleem says, look up local grants available in your county, right? So yes, right. So there's grants that are there's I think if you go to grants.gov, you could look at any government grants that are available. Find any grants that are available in your county. Number two, also, a lot of the companies that are announcing these things, go to their website. So a lot of them might have their basic website, but then a lot of them might have specific websites as it relates to the funds that they're announcing. So a lot of them are definitely going to have things on their website that tell you what how to apply for those grants. So I think if we demand the company provide us with their distribution plan, let's hold them to their word. Absolutely, right? So that I think that's a good point as well. As Dacia said, because a lot of times they pledge these monies, but then the monies don't necessarily get to the people. Don't get to the people that it's supposed to get to. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm watching a documentary called 1804, and the documentary is about Haiti. And the history of Haiti and how powerful Haiti was, as it relates to the Haitian Revolution. And when I watched the documentary, it talks about, after the 2010 earthquake, there was so much money that was being given for the reliefs of those in Haiti, right? In fact, the number was about $6 billion, right? So like $6 billion was given to Haiti for the hurricane, but Haiti didn't see any of that money, right? And so it's like, okay, what how you got $6 billion to help people, but nobody ever sees it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why, to your point, is Dacia, is definitely important that there's accountability and there's a plan, because don't just say you're going to give this money, and now you give this money to a nonprofit organization that you're normally given to, that doesn't have a record of helping the community, and not in the way that the community needs to help. So I agree with that. It's a pledge, just a way to say that they promised to do something. So much has been taken to. All right. Let's see. I think you mentioned before that it's better to have more thousandaires than millionaires. Do you think Netflix should have given the money as scholarships to individuals instead of the organizations? I I mean, it's tough, you know. Like when it comes to distribution of money, it's really really tough, because at the end of the day, it's like, and I saw this thing on CNBC, and CNBC says that right now financial literacy is needed more than ever. I've thought that 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like when I realized when I started my banking career, and I realized that the reason why a lot of people are in situations that they're in, yes, it's policy, but then also there's people who are given an opportunity to get out of this situation, but do not, right, because they don't have the right financial literacy. And when I realized that we still, even today, 2020, we talked about, earlier, where there was somebody who got $2 million in PPP loans and wound up buying a Wraith, buying jewelry, right? You know what I'm saying? So financial literacy is important. I think that if people understand financial literacy, it'll be better. So when you think about distribution of money, it's hard to make more millionaires, right? My thing was that there should be more millionaires than billionaires, right? So like instead of making more billionaires, let's make more millionaires. But the same goes accordingly as well, right? There should be more thousandaires than millionaires. And what happens is this though, is that, I mean, this is just the truth of the matter, is that if you're a millionaire, you start becoming a millionaire in the mind first, right? You understand how to make millions through mindset stuff, not necessarily the practical things that you're doing. It's really your mind becomes a millionaire. I had a conversation with a friend who is who was a multimillionaire twice, right? Multimillionaire twice. I won't put his business out there as far as like how he got it, lost it, or whatever. But he's back. He's a thousandaire right now, but he's back on the trajectory of getting his third million, right? Like his third time being a millionaire. And so, I thought about that. I'm like, yo, somebody like him who was able to become a multimillionaire. Bad habits or whatever got him to a point where he lost the millions, was able to make the millions again, back again from nothing, didn't have the right, people on his team or whatever, kind of lost the millions again, but then now he's back on that trajectory. And that goes to something I said earlier, that if you're a hustler, if you know how to get to the bag, you know how to get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? If you get somebody who it has a broke mindset, right? If you get somebody who has a broke mindset and you give them $1 million, they're gonna lose it. If you get somebody who has a millionaire mindset, they're always gonna bounce back. They're always gonna be in that space. There's people who it was like a fluke almost, was able to make millions of dollars, lost it, and then they never were able to reclaim it. And so, yeah, I do think that there should be more variability. But what's the point of making millionaires if people are just going to squander the money, right? Like one of the missions I want to start working on is, I know that there's a lot of people who are internet millionaires right now, right? People who are making a lot of money off the internet. And because they're making a lot of money, their spending habits are all over the place. But who's creating the plan for them that is allowing them to create generational wealth? And I'm not just saying generational wealth because it's a buzzword, but meaning how can you take that money and invest it in something that's going to allow your money to work for it, opposed to you having to continue to learn how to manipulate or how to sell your products or service? Because at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is that you're always going to have to figure out how to sell it. And granted, if you are somebody who has a millionaire mindset, it doesn't matter. It could be the internet today, it could be whatever tomorrow. Like you'll always figure out a way. But it does start with education. It starts with you being able to educate yourself. So I like that. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to scroll up real quick. Building a lot of infrastructure here in the States and putting up Haiti and building up from the ground. You don't need permission with enough capital. Let's see if anybody has donated to Black Lives Matter research. Where is your money really going? Let's see. if we Garveyed up and pulled up Haiti collectively. Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. Haiti, the country is ours. We want a peace. Yep. Just pull up and make it a nicer than DR in years. I think they say that Haiti is actually sitting on $20 billion of gold, and also in oil. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a rich country, and yeah, I think we got to Garvey up. You know what I'm saying? That might be the next thing that has to happen. If you can do it once, you can do it twice. Big facts. Build the Akon city right over the water. Totally feasible. What I mean is Spelman said they could give 20 scholarships with the donation. They could give many more and impact more students if the money was available to more students. I think so. You know, again, when it's just tough when you talk about how money is distributed. It's tough to say. All right, cool. So let me start with the questions. My guy Troy, what up, my G? Salute, King. That's my guy, man. Yo, fat shout to Earn Your Leisure, man, in the building, man. My guy Troy, my guy Rashad, those my brothers right there, man. Yo, like they got if you not listening to Earn Your Leisure, you better get on your game, get on your dean. Like I'm getting goosebumps when I think about the movement, and I'm a proud Earn Your Leisure alumni. You know what I'm saying? So salute to my guy Troy, man. Trouble T Roy in the building, man. When I tell you, I get goosebumps. Goosebumps. Like this is a true, goosebumps, So salute to my guys, man. Salute to my guys, Troy, Rashad, and the whole team. Mike, everybody, Salute to the whole team, man. So you know what I mean. Earn Your Leisure, man, in the building. All right, dope. Let's go to the questions. Let's start there. Let me see. So, Young Faces Smiling says, "Will you ever do a morning show just talking about being an author?" I'm gonna do I think that's more like webinar stuff. Like I don't think so. This particular platform is just to kind of update everybody on the news, on financial news, what's happening in the news, and also to open it up for questions so that people could have access to me, because I stated earlier, I'm kind of pulling back a little bit on doing like one-on-one coaching and things of that nature, and I think it's better if I just give a platform so that if people want to ask questions and things of that nature, that they have that the availability. But I will do a webinar. I will start doing webinars. I'm thinking about doing like night classes because I did a class on Tuesday called Tax Tuesdays with my guy Mitch, and it went pretty well. And so I think I'm gonna, definitely start to do more webinars, more like night classes. I did do the night class, the tax class. I did it on IG, so maybe that'll be an option. So instead of doing it, only on the webinar, I'll still do it on the webinar, but maybe I'll turn on my camera on IG so that way we could kind of get the information at the same time. Because again, it's about, I want to maximize the time. And so doing a webinar just is better. I can reach more people because the truth of the matter is that, and that's why I simulcast, because I got people on IG, which I love y'all. I got people on YouTube. I love y'all. I got people on Facebook and Twitter. I love y'all. But I also have an email list that's really big that I send out stuff to as well. So I will potentially do a webinar or maybe a night class on live on IG, but it's probably gonna be at the night because I need to take a nap during the day. So just so y'all know, I wake up early, I do my thing, I get some work done, and then I take a nap in the middle of the day to try to give me some energy for the night. So that's why sometimes my thing be all out of whack. Let's see. I got 2 books done and a third one in the works. Salute to you, Alpha Trader Kaleem. Salute. I love the podcast, Troy. Yeah, no, it's the best. Young's Face and Smile says, my students won't go online. Cuzzo, what up? Hit with Paris. What up, Cuzzo? Yo, go to my cousin's page, Hit with Paris. She has a raffle going on. So she's giving out a Louis Vuitton bag So go check it out. $2,600 bag. I think Cardi B just had the same bag. So if you're into that stuff, definitely check her out. Hit with Paris. Go check her out. Go check her out. Great information on the tax. Yeah, yo, the tax class was dope. I might do that. You know what I'm saying? I might start doing that more often. You know what I mean? But me and Mitch, we're working on a program anyway, so we're gonna work on something. So check that out. Let's see. I think I need more info on that child education with self-employment. That's why. Yeah, we're gonna come up with a program for sure. Let's see. Rosalind, what's up? What's up, Miss Roz? Good morning. Yeah, Miss Rosalind is joining the team. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be working on some stuff together. So salute to Miss Rosalind. Let's see. So ASN Bandit, I promise you, I'm gonna do this live with Ian, man. ASN Bandit says, when and how do I start a portfolio? We're gonna do that. We're gonna do one soon. I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna see if we can make that happen. We gotta do a live, and then I'll do a webinar with him soon. So I'll leave that question in there. ASN. Let me go to landlord Inc says, should you invest in what you consume? Yes, if you believe in that, right? I don't think that's the only barometer to it. I do think that you should do some research. I think that if you're consuming something, you should first, as you're consuming it, you should first study how well the company is doing and if it makes sense for you to invest in it, right? So thank you for asking that question, because I remember yesterday people were asking me my thoughts on Carver Bank and Urban One shares, right? And so and I looked it up because I didn't know what everybody was talking about. But they say, these are two companies, right? Carver Bank Corp and Urban One are two companies that serve the black and underrepresented communities. They more than doubled on Wednesday as traders aid trends associated with supporting black-owned businesses amid the global protests against police brutality. So listen, Carver stocks jumped as much as 853%. The most on record on volume, more than 100 times the 3-month daily average. And Urban One's Class D shares climbed 150% intra-trade, catching up a bit with a rally in the Class A shares earlier the week, right? And so the move comes as calls to buy black have circulated on social media, pointing consumers to black-owned businesses as a step towards correcting economic injustices. And I love the effort. I love the effort, but I hate the organization, right? Meaning that I hate that we're not as organized as we should be. I think that there should be more of a proactive approach on a consistent basis, and not just rallying against things when it's cool to do so, right? Because at the end of the day, and so this is going to go back to your question, landlord, lady and lord Inc. It's going to go back to your question, because at the end of the day, you should invest in what you consume, but you also should understand the health of what you're consuming, right? So it's similar to what I talked about earlier with Hertz. If Hertz is still open and they're renting out cars and you use Hertz, but you're like, oh, I use Hertz, so let me invest in Hertz, but Hertz is at 40 cents and it filed for bankruptcy because it owes $19 billion in debt, then what's the point, right? So you should invest in what you consume, but also do the research, you know what I'm saying? And so my point is this, is that I haven't done research, right? So I don't know the strength of Carver Bank. I don't, and full disclaimer, I used to work for Carver Bank. So I used to be an assistant vice president there. But that was a while ago. And so I don't have an opinion, good or bad, about the company, but I don't know the strength of Carver Bank. And so it's great that their stock is up, but what is the strength of the company, right? I don't know the strength of Urban One, right? Radio is going through what it's going through. And so people think about it during pandemics. How many people are really listening to radio right now? And so, but the great thing about it is that Urban One has TV One, and it has other properties. And so, it's there may be other things that are brewing. And so, we have to know the strength of the companies that we're investing in. So before you invest, just understand the strength, right? What is the company doing? Are they in the black or are they in the red? You know what I'm saying? In the black is good, right? So understand that when you're in the black, you good, right? So are they in the black or are they in the red? So yeah, that's what I would say. Let's see. What would be the best college courses to take online during a pandemic? So my guy, I am 23, says what would be best college courses to take online during a pandemic? Anything that's about marketing. I think any course that talks about marketing, sales and marketing is what you should be taking. The technical stuff, you can always hire somebody to do, right? And so technical things, if you have a business, you could always hire somebody to do it. You could also learn that, through YouTube or whatever. But literally, when you think about college courses, I think that you should take anything with sales and marketing, because with sales and marketing, that's how you get your business to make money. Period. Right? Stanya, what's up? Stanya Bernard, welcome. Yeah, that's how you get people. That's how you make money. If you have the best product in the world and nobody buys it, then it doesn't matter. If you have the best product in the world but nobody knows about the product, then it doesn't matter, right? When you're thinking about when you think about any courses, like anything, it's sales and marketing. You could suck at everything else, but if you have good sales and marketing, you will always be good. I know people. My guy Puff, what up, Puff? What's the good word, my G? I know people who have horrible businesses, and when I say horrible, I'm like their business is not good, and that's just my opinion on it. But that's if you look at if you look at all the other stuff, right? I know people who have horrible businesses, but still kill it, make a lot of money because they're great at sales, they're great at marketing. And so, yeah, so I would say if you have an opportunity to take any college courses, that's what I would say. You know what I'm saying? My guy Art, you know what I'm saying? I got Harlem in the building, you heard? I got Art in the building, AV Harlem in the building. My guy Diddy in the building. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to the Kings, man. Yo, Puff, I be seeing you promoting Brooklyn too, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I like that, man, because I know you're a Harlem cat. You might have been born in Brooklyn, but you gotta start claiming the H, bro, my G. No, I'm just joking. I mean, salute to y'all. Salute to the Kings. All right, cool. Should you get hey, it's Franklin says, should you get life insurance on young children? Absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt, you should definitely get life insurance on young children. And a couple of reasons is, number one, if you you never know, right? And so if tomorrow's not promised, and so it's not like what Puff said. I'm sorry. You right. Thanks, bro. You got you anything for you. Nah, salute. Yeah, but you never know, right? So when you think about life insurance, you never know as it relates to any untimely demise, and so you want to make sure that your kids are covered. I know death is something that we don't want to expect or anything like that, but it's a reality that happens, for a lot of us. And so at the end of the day, let's make sure that our kids are covered, number one. Number two, there's actually strategies in which a life insurance policy on your child will work better than doing a 529 plan, right? And so, I won't get into the specifics because I don't want to confuse people. If you are interested in learning more about that, I do have an insurance company. My wife and I have an insurance company, life insurance company. So you could hit me. I think the link is in my bio. Or if you go to mindrightinsurance.com, we could give you a consultation. But there are strategies in which you can use life insurance to actually fund your kid's college. It plays in the market a little bit, but it's guaranteed in a way. So I don't want to give too much information on that. But yeah, so I think that you should definitely get life insurance on your young children, especially the younger, the more you can get. But it works on both ends of the spectrum. It works on one end of the spectrum where it's protecting their life, just in case, God forbid, anything happens to them. But then also, there's ways that you can use life insurance on your children to be a better, better vehicle to raise money or invest money for their college. So yes. All right, let's see. What is the best? Yo, Mo Wine for you. I answered this yesterday. I think you jumped off, so you gotta go to the ashcashshow.com and listen to the tail end of yesterday's course, or of yesterday's show, because I did answer that question. What is the best minimal viable product to start with? I answered it yesterday. I'll answer it real quick, but I think that ebook. So I think that a minimal viable product that you should start with is based on what is your ultimate goal. So whatever your ultimate goal is, break that down into the smallest thing that you can do. If you want to be a fashion designer, start with a t-shirt line. If you want to be an author, start with an ebook. Even if you don't want to be an author, honestly, start with an ebook. I think everybody should have an ebook. Everybody has skills. Everybody offers something. You could do an ebook really fast. So that's a minimal viable product. See if the information that you're selling, or the thing that you're selling, people want the information about it. So yeah. Let's see. How come? So the real Scott Randall says, how come the LGBTQs are using the murder of heterosexual black males to push their agenda? The real Scott Randall says, how come the LGBTQs are using the murder of heterosexual black males, i.e. Black Lives Matter, to push their agenda? I do not know. I can't answer that because I'm not part of the LGBTQ community, nor do I know if that's accurate, that's being done. I think that it's dangerous. Everybody, right? It's dangerous to generalize, because I do not like when people generalize, right? And so there are things that we go through as a black community, and those things I will generalize. I will generalize what the black community needs and wants and things of that nature, because as a collective, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're straight, whether you're gay, whether you're bisexual, whatever, right? I think that all of it, right? There's a bunch of things that matter as it relates to black folks, right? But then there's things that are individualized, right? And I think that when we generalize the whole community for one or two, I think that's not right. I think when it's done to us, we don't necessarily like it. So yeah, so y'all could go back and forth with that. I see y'all going back and forth with that in the comments. But I don't have an opinion on that, good or bad. I don't know if that's accurate, that's happening. But I do believe that all Black Lives Matter. So when we're talking about Black Lives Matter, all Black Lives Matter. And I think that as a collective, we need to come together. But if there's one bad apple within that bunch, like, I don't condemn violence to anybody, right? And so when I'm looking at violence happening to a trans woman because she's a trans woman by, black, and I mean, like, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, right? We are black before anything else, and I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? All right, my time is up, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. As always, make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com and subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you go to ashcashtv.com and subscribe to our channel. If you go to shop.mindrightmoney.com, I am offering 25% off of everything on that site. You just have to go to shop.mindrightmoney.com. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, same time. Oh, use the code MindRight. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. I love y'all. All right, peace. Wait, hold on, YouTube, because I gotta put that in the comments. So shop.mindrightmoney.com. Use the code MINDRIGHT. So if you use the code MINDRIGHT, you'll get 25% off everything that is everything that we offer on that site. So shop.mindrightmoney.com. There's a bunch of planners I have on there. But go to shop.mindrightmoney.com. Use the code MINDRIGHT. You get 25% off. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place.